Where do we stand? Taken together, cardiovascular disease, stroke, cancer, and diabetes accounts for approximately two-thirds of all deaths in the United States, and more than $700 billion in direct and indirect costs each year. If dietary changes can reduce the incidence of these diseases, it will have a truly significant effect on world health. The professional organizations that represent the researchers and clinicians who treat these diseases, the American Heart Association, the American Cancer Society, and the American Diabetes Association, published a joint statement of dietary recommendations. They concluded simply that higher intake of fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grain, and fish is associated with a reduced incidence of all diseases. Hunter-gatherer societies, whose lifestyles are similar to those of our ancestors, he found that they generally exhibit excellent health in spite of following a wide range of diets. It doesn't matter if they get 80% of their calories from carbohydrates, or from animal fat, or from nuts and berries. Almost all eat more fiber than the average American, but that is about the only difference. This takes a lot of wind out of the paleo diet. Interestingly, they don't shun sugar, consuming it in the form of honey. Notably though, they don't have access to processed food or deep-fried foods. Funger's research, Funger's research, consistent with that of many other science, finds that there is no one best diet and that we can vary healthy and wide range of diet. Have obesity is a lack of variety in any given individual hunter-gatherer's diet. When you have a lot of food choices, we tend to overeat because the variety of flavors is enticing. There is a related movement called intuitive eating, developed by registered dietitian Evelyn Tribble. It has been associated with reduced body mass index, reduced cholesterol, lowered blood pressure, and improved psychological health. Diets don't work because they're based on restriction. The big idea of intuitive dieting is that your body knows what kinds of food you eat, that it has an intuitive drive toward the protein, carbs, and fats you can trust, or perhaps in the trillions of microbes in your gut that send signals to your brain to generate the intuitive diet. The four additional principles of intuitive dieting are: 1. Try to eat when you're hungry. 2. Try to stop when you are no longer hungry. 3. Learn to cope with emotions in alternative forms other than eating. And 4. Place no restrictions on types of food eaten unless for medical reasons. Now, like me, you may be skeptical about your body knowing what foods you need. Adjusting it doesn't sound scientific. How do you distinguish intuitive eating from a decidedly maladaptive craving, such as wanting to eat a pint of ice cream every night? First, this kind of binge eating is often spurred by desire for emotional comfort, an attempt to relieve stress and anxiety by eating traditional forbidden foods, such as those high in fats and sugars. It results in high levels of shame and regret, not to mention weight gain and microbiome imbalance, and it feeds in a vicious cycle. In contrast, intuitive eating involves in a reframing of eating of physical rather than emotional or social reasons, thus knowing that any food option is on the table, so to speak, makes you less likely to binge eat than forbidden foods. Proponents of intuitive eating, such as Mallory Freyon, talk about cultivating a less obsessive, healthier relationship with food and allowing the body to experience any healthy variety in moderate amount of all the foods that are available to us. And all of these things should be informed by good sense and the knowledge that although you might consume that once in a while, and chocolate cake and the onion rings diet is not a good long-term strategy for optimal health. Much of the intention and the popular press about what you eat is on so-called superfoods, such as the blueberries and acai, kale, and sweet potatoes. But this approach ignores what nutritionists call matrix effect, the ways in which in the real life optimal diet interact with one another. When you can try to feed a particular problem without creating another one, and that's a central issue in nutrition journalism. There is often a narrow, focusing on one aspect of nutrition or one health outcome while ignoring another. The key to diet seems to be not what you eat, but what you don't. The American diet is too high in processed foods, sugar, salt, and red meat. Junk food is addictive. It over uh, stimulates the brain's reward system, which evolved in an era when fast and sweet were hard to come by. Apart from that, the fact is, we just don't know enough of nutrition to say that there isn't a single best diet. As a report on the state of nutrition advice at Stanford University noted, the history of nutrition science is littered with there remains a hypothesis that we're once in the next big thing. At present, what does seem to be unclear is that large amounts of refined sugar, deep-fried foods, and heavily processed foods are unhealthy. Apart from that, eating a variety of different foods and moderation and eating more vegetables than the average American currently consumes all appears to contribute to longevity and health. Reducing the use of tobacco and alcohol is also indicated.